Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Moin.
Right. Well, we do the community buttons. Let's say let's talk. Let's see what the community's been up to.
Oh yes, of course. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You with us, Ben? Yeah.
Yep.
Still?
Yeah. So when the community.
Hello, people. He's back. I totally forgot to remove the thing from last week. 120 episodes.
920.
Also, cheers, Jerry. I got myself a nice little cup of drink.
Oh, not that fucking thing again.
No.
That's the reason I've got my Nazi-esque poster behind me, because of your unusual brew.
This is beer.
Oh, that's all right.
This
then.
is
That's not
a dark brew.
I'm trying to get my vitamin C up because I'm corona pregnant. That's the phrase, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Demon Sub asks if you had a nice holiday.
I had an amazing holiday. There are pictures. Some people may get to see a Rimmer-like slideshow of the engineering decks. That actually might be my hobby time for the XLBS. Just me going through slides of the Vasa Museum and Arsenalum. So
I'm still waiting for the bot war rolling around thing picture you promised.
I didn't get a chance to go there because
shame.
my friend I was staying with got the Rona. So my last few days in Scandinavia were spent semi-quarantined, so I didn't spread the Rona around. Although not as badly as her fiancé, who apparently is allergic to the Rona and ended up in ER.
How do you get to be allergic to a virus?
He's just
horrible.
naturally lucky, I think.
Oh, God.
He has a face on him like a big puffy round head, like he swallowed a bee.
Not very good.
No, hilarious though, because it does explain why when he got his vaccinations on both occasions, he ended up back in hospital with his heart going 20 to the dozen. So it wasn't an issue with the vaccine, it's an issue with the Verona itself.
That's bad.
Fucking good times.
Oh,
anyway.
Welcome, Dutch Hazy Boy.
Oh,
Dale Hardbottle.
Anybody who's visiting Stockholm should definitely pay the Tank Museum a visit, because it's not just the Tank Museum. They also have a bit outside that's kind of like a living history bit about the Swedish their equivalent of counties. They would have like regiments raised within them, and they've got like a little living history sort of thing outside in like cabins. And then they also have a model soldier museum upstairs as well, which has got like a history of tiny fighting men from the flats, which I took copious pictures of as well. You'll all be pleased to hear. You'll all get to see them on Sunday. For the next several Sundays, it'll just be me going through slides.
I wonder, every time I hear the word
Cantons.
Tank Museum, is there an entry point where there's a poster from John going, "This man is not to be allowed inside any tank"?
No, they have when I was taking Uno and Lily there, I was explaining stuff to them, which I'm sure they really wanted to hear. And one of the things I point out was the first German tank was developed in conjunction with Sweden and made in Sweden, because after World War I, they weren't allowed to build any tanks. So when Hitler wanted some tanks, he sort of farmed out some engineers and the job of making tanks. So that the Licht tractor was built in Sweden, and you walk in and the very first thing you see is bang, fucking Licht tractor right there. But also once you've gone around it all, there's like a kids section, and they've got like a cutaway one that they've made themselves, which if you're small enough, you can get in and see what it's like to be inside a Licht tractor. It's great. I'm just going to be inside this if anybody wants me.
Oh, that's nice. Toros, welcome. So tonight is going to be a horrible mess, I guess, because I took the liberty of picking projects, and I have no clue if Jerry had the time or even the heart to read up on them, or we just winging it.
Oh no, I didn't watch any of these. I assumed
Oh.
you would lead us through them all.
That's nice.
Is this our first one? There's Hazy Boy. So I'm still fucking gutted I didn't go to
Yes.
the London show now, Hazy. Just saying.
That's
Fucking
the
so
first
gutted.
one. So how do I do this? This is the way.
This is the way.
I thought I'd ease ourselves into this steaming hot day with some nice frozen terrain.
Yeah, weirdly, for his Frozen City, he has a mixture of GW Lord of the Rings plastic and GW cardboard terrain. Because I have that fucking bridge. That was from the Undead Warhammer Quest expansion. They also came with a little mausoleum and stuff. Yeah, I'm positive that's what it came. That's where it came from. It's printed and textured like Perilous Quest and those sort of things that are all in Grudge of Drong. I can't remember what the Undead one was called. Anyway, whatever the fuck it was called, I had it somewhere. But they've got in and just decided to texture it up and reuse it. Which is, I mean, you know.
And I thought this was a scratch build of sorts. Excuse me.
You know, they could scratch build if they want, but if you're already sitting with a cardboard bridge, and all you need to do is cover it in textured paint to make it look not. It had that. Remember that blue stone with skulls and bat wings all over it? GW were fond of many moons ago. There's a lot like that. Hail Hydra, by the way. Is it in one of those? No, your Perilous Quest and your magic. Well, the Perilous Quest had the jousting stuff in it. Somebody in the thing will know what it was. There was a really nice Wraith model they released, a white model they released as part of it. They always did like little character models for them as well. They were awesome. These were great. Back when things had square bases, like nature intended. And GW shot it all. Anyway.
I love the way he takes scenic pictures with all the Scullybobs attacking that one wizard.
Wizard and his apprentice. It's the best way.
I think I need to. Where's my text file?
On the subject of Army Painter sprays, see that they made up some sprays that they weren't sure about and are available as a splash release only. So there's like a bright pink, a turquoise, which quite frankly I can live without both of those. But the third color, which is like a you'll get all that tonight. The third color is like a petrol blue, like a deep purplish grayish blue, and it's going to be one of the splash release colors as well. So when stocks run out, they're gone. They're not making those any longer. But it's a really nice fucking color. Very much COVID live, Dave. If at any point I fall off my chair, the first person in my house gets all my stuff.
Well, that's an incentive to very suddenly take up flying lessons.
But yeah, really nice little project. I do think he's gone with the traditional cold colors for the stonework, and they kind of work. But I still think the way I painted all the terrain for our Frostgrave week, where I matched it to the artwork on one of the books. I can't remember what book it was. Perilous Dark, was that the most recent one? The Red King, that was it. And it was all reddish browny colored things. That I think works better for Frostgrave because it just stands out so much more than having all the white matte and grey buildings and grey bases, and it's just all very
icy,
cold. Yeah, uninspiring, I think, is the phrase. But you know, to each their own. I'm just saying, if you painted the way I painted mine, it did look awesome. To be fair, even Frostgrave people didn't paint theirs the way I painted mine. The fools, and they had all the books to base the shit on as well. Everything's just sprayed black and dry brushed. Lazy cunts. Anywho.
Yeah, I really wonder why Army Painter did this with a sudden release of just a few momentarilies. Why? Why?
I do like the liquid frost from Green Stuff World that you use to spritz up the things. We did something similar. I say we did something similar when we filmed. It was coming up to Christmas, so I bought a lot of fucking snow spray that you would spray into windows and on top of things, and we just sprayed top down onto everything to get the same effect. But it wipes off very easily. It's very water soluble. Anyway, but yeah, nice little
Nice
collection
cold
of
project.
tiny fighting things, tiny fighting terrain.
So what's our next Frost Gravy project then? It's the next one in the list.
I can't be entirely certain that it's Ninjili, based solely on the fact that there's a Snoopy. But I will say the majority of her projects have a Snoopy in the banner. So
The what's it? The damn
banner,
it. No.
cover, bird, pigeon, duck, hedgehog, dog, friend,
No,
dad,
mathematic thing.
rosebud,
God
formula,
damn it. I can't think tonight.
example, isolation. This is
Yeah.
because you're drinking your unusual piss again.
I don't. That's a dog.
You need to stop that.
Why should I, if I were? But I don't. So,
It's sterile and you like the taste. What?
maybe.
You're so...
The possibility and the likelihood. Well, there's another mathematical term in that rhyme that I can't find. The probability of a project
there you go.
being hers.
That's a word that makes sense. Yeah, probability, 100%. It goes up by a factor of 12t. Oh, by 12t. Circle of Blood, yes, you fucking legend. That's handy, because otherwise we'd have had to cut someone.
Potentially. So this is since we last were here, she only did one little update, and also that's almost a year past. So maybe we can nudge her to work on this.
What do we think the chances are? Look, more GW mausoleums. It must be the time of year for them.
Or people were holding on to them just for the sake of getting them into Frostgrave.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Also, you're very lucky that you have passed the last two Hobby Hangouts, because I was still trying to catch my speaking impairment after having two molars removed the week before.
I've seen it. I seen I was cast aside for Ben instead.
He was a surrogate teacher.
It's an outrage. Couldn't have been a surrogate teacher. He didn't leave in tears. That's how we dealt with surrogate teachers. We picked up, we had a surrogate teacher. Whatever the fuck you call them. Substitute, not surrogate. That's pregnancy. We had a substitute teacher, and she drove a little brown Mini. And a group of us picked it up and moved it from the car park for the teachers across a little road and into the school's forest. And there were two trees, and we just put it between the two trees so she couldn't get out. That's how you deal with substitute teachers.
Oh, that's not very nice now, is it?
We also used to sit and chant, "We only work for Miss McGurk," and pass tables around. Just,
Oh, shame there's nothing to see about the contents.
No, look at that. Look at that fucking Mark Gibbons artwork. Look at it. Look at it. It's fucking sexy. It's sexy.
Yes, indeed it is. Coming back to the project system after this had been a very short thingamajig update.
Yes.
Where's our next number, please?
Jesus, you're away already. I haven't even got to the bit where they painted the stuff. It's an outrage. You're outrageous. Anyway. He's so mean to me.
Yes. I missed
Hi,
2
Jill.
weeks of
If you're
being
watching, I wanted to spend more time here, but he just keeps pushing me on because he just screams tightly scripted half hour into my ear. He's the worst. Sans the whimsy.
Adventures in Frozen City again by Rich. I'll never
Did you
get.
just search Frostgrave?
No, I didn't search. I just used
Just
the
checking.
pull-down menu
Sure.
and said go Frostgrave. And after a few
okay,
selections, I
okay,
went no, something different.
This is one we had to look at.
Some time ago.
It couldn't have been that long ago. I remember looking at the Drippy Candle Monster.
Yes, that's the one.
Was that the last thing I seen before I fucked off on holidays?
I think so, because June 26th sounds like...
Sounds about right. Yeah. No. That's still fairly fucking creepy, has to be said. But anyway.
I kind of like him. He's a huggable character, I think. He's very soft to the touch, warm-hearted, brightens your day.
You can stick pins in him.
Also that.
It's all good.
So a weird Etsy buy where he doesn't know where it's from. A weird mechanical cat-like creature.
It's covered in 3D printing striations.
Yes.
That's bound to upset you.
It's very hard to not see that. But
Especially now I pointed out. Right there.
Even before.
No.
But thanks to the magic of alcohol, I was very tame.
Well, that's good. Glad to see you're mellowing in your old age. Just like Hitler.
Don't
did
remind me
himself.
of old age. My birthday is around the corner.
Oh, that's a good point.
I'm getting fucking old.
It's my Facebook birthday, but I must have finally worked out how to stop Facebook from broadcasting that because I haven't got anybody telling me it's my birthday randomly.
It's your birthday again at a different date.
It's not, but it's my dad's birthday. He doesn't use it anymore since he died. So I used it for my fake Facebook account.
Hello, Taffy.
And then I would often get happy birthday. I would very, very, very confusing. You'd go, what? Not my fucking birthday. Half a year out, for fuck's sake. Anyway. Interesting little mechanical kitty cat. The new Frostgrave book, which technically comes out on Thursday, but North Star has already sent it out to people who pre-ordered it because they had it. Fireheart, I think, is the name of the new one, and it contains a fuckload of new construct spells and stuff for wizards. So there've always been some constructs kicking around in sort of 3 or 4 of the books that do mediocre stuff, and there's a construct spell that was very simple, sort of you can have a construct if you don't fuck it up before the game, free punching thing, but this one's got a whole chapter on designing your constructs, and so they can do other more complicated things, so that'd be quite interesting. Frostgrave Bot War. Oh, that'd be good.
That would be interesting. Especially since Anthony is now trying to source somebody to make music for a 80s vibe Bot War trailer.
Yes, seen that because he's it's a Bot War trailer, but I think it's going to be for a non-Bot War Kickstarter potentially.
But Bot War universe, I think.
Yeah, same universe, but different game.
And
time will tell.
Staying within the universe, I think there's a trip to another project all around the corner.
Jesus, he's fucking relentless. I came back sick from my holidays, looking
and
for a really, sort of slow and steady.
So
break myself back in. He's just cracking the whip.
And Tuffy is doing Moonstone.
You see how quickly they got people on loose trains?
Trains?
He's going to pay. He's going to pay Ben. Oh, this is a fucking outrage.
When did I say I'd pay Ben?
Who knows? But there's Boris the Bunny Summoner, 3 murder bunnies, and a jackalope. It's all the bunnies that's fit to print. Not the angry bunny, though.
For weird reasons, Tuffy hasn't done anything more.
Yeah, well, I imagine that's because Tuffy's getting ready to kick off with the Eric campaign, which launches on Monday. And so we'll be seeing some battle reports in here.
Yeah, and she had been had a minor distraction with the Horus Heresy box, which I think is already painted by now, isn't it?
Yeah, that was a fucking waste of your life, wasn't it? You could have been doing something productive, like painting more Moonstone or playing games. Instead, 159 transfers on the fucking Space Marines. Christ,
And-
I'd rather poke my eyes out with a fucking Winsor Newton paintbrush.
And the not to speak of all the shoulder pauldrons that need to be two-parted.
What? Two-parted pauldrons? Fuck off.
No, the ones with the buttons on. Those are two parts.
Oh, Jesus Christ. GW have fucking jumped the shark on that one, haven't they?
I think they took some inspiration by...
Did Malifaux send them some fucking design guides?
No, I think they looked too long at Atomic Mass Games and how Fantasy Flight did the B1 droids. Oh, Tuffy did pick up the Easter Jackalope.
Oh, that's alright then. I shall, I knew that anyway, to be brutally honest. People kept linking it to me, and it's like, I ordered it. I ordered it 2 minutes after it went live. Pinging me the email or message like a day later, that's your shit out of luck there, folks. Gotta realize I stalk these fuckers, whether they want me to or not. Hi, Doug.
I would also almost guess that at some companies you're poking them with a very long stick, so long that they, okay, you can order it.
Weirdly, sometimes I get messages from them going, do you want me to send you this? I got a message from Tom at Moonstone once going, oh, Jared, do you want me to send you the new, I'm trying to remember, Vespa model for you to have a look at and unbox? It's like, Tom, I ordered it 2 days ago. Shit out of luck, mate. Just put my order in the post.
So here it is, folk. If you ever try to hint something at Jerry, the possibility that he's already ordered it is...
I dislike taking free stuff off small companies. Bigger companies can fuck themselves. They can send me whatever they want. But the smaller companies, I'll quite happily throw my money at them if I like their stuff.
Yeah, but
you should start playing. You could play a game when you look at my unboxings. What stuff has been sent to us to unbox, and what stuff have I bought that I've unboxed under camera? It's a fun game. How's my liver? That's grand. I discovered there's a bionic kidney on the way, Doug. So that's all good. But anyway, I imagine sure Tuffy's in there. Tuffy is, isn't
Yes, she is.
I assume those are majority contrast then. Tuffular. Also, damn your eyes, Jerry.
Damn your eyes, he says.
It's a good way of doing it.
Is age getting to you, or did you just misplace your glasses?
No, my glasses are here. I can't see the screen if I put my glasses on without leaning way the fuck back.
Oh.
It's how Tuffy has entitled this project. If you look at the notes on the project on the left.
You think I could be able to read?
I have no idea why. It ranks up there with Steve, Irish Steve, who keeps saying things like, damn you, Jerry, as well. There's a lot of people keep harshing my mellow, and I don't know why.
Oh, I think
I backed the Kickstarter, Dave. So there will be Firefox dwarves should be winging their way to me, along with a couple of other Kickstarters. Mostly I'm gonna use them for Kings of War.
While we wait on Tuffy's explanation of...
Excuse me.
Really don't sound too healthy by now.
Oh, no, I'm fine. My
while
taste
we
is
wait on
coming back.
Tuffy's
It was
answer...
more annoying over the past 5 days when I didn't have taste. Fucking no taste. I was a pain in the hole. What are you eating today, Jared? Well, I'm eating crunchy and sort of spongy. It wasn't flavour, it was just texture.
Welcome, Panzer and David. Oh, Tuffy has internet issues.
Oh.
That's horrible.
Terrible. It's an outrage. We were just saying, have you contrasted your bunnies? While we go on to Hobby Lodge. Hobby Lodge.
Who also did Moonstone with very bright poppy grassy colours.
There's a lot of that going about. You know what I haven't seen yet? I've seen one, actually. That's not true. I've seen one. Mr. Toodles painted at night lit by a small fire on the ground, but it was done as part of a diorama, not a gaming piece. But the whole point of Moonstone is all of the combats are at night, all of the encounters are at night because moonstones evaporate in sunlight. So you have to go out at night, do the mission. I've yet to see somebody lean into the night side of it. The blue and pinkish flowers are quite interesting, that Laughing Boy's gone with. But I'm curious, I would love to see somebody doing a moonstone trip or a couple of moonstone trips in like shades of blue and grey, as if they are in the dark.
I really like the
Diorama one, yeah, it was lovely.
I like the green he's using in the cauldron that's on
Yes.
the back of the center witch. The green snotty look.
You know, everybody's got to have a cauldron, and it's for Pratchett fans out there. It's a little triumvirate of witches: the Mother, the Virgin, and the other one.
The other. Who's the other?
But yeah, the witches are very nice. It's like most of Martin's stuff. It's all done really, really nice gaming quality, gets on the table. So in fact, I'd probably say a couple of levels above sort of gaming quality.
And also, you can watch him on Twitch and YouTube,
Yeah.
how he's painting them.
Never in a hot tub though.
No. Well, speaking of a hot tub, I know these channels get a fuck ton of attention.
Because of hot tub?
Yeah, and I
come
really
you're never
was
in a hot tub?
not prepared for the amount of scale. So when I was watching Atomic Mass Games mini extravaganza thingamajig,
Yes.
you have on the left side on Twitch the other people are watching right now recommendations. And there were several other military related things, all having 200 to 500, some 1,000 viewers. And then there was one that was casual chatting in a hot tub. 35,000 viewers.
See? I'm telling you, mate, if you want to make money out of this, that's what you need to do. You need to get your baps out for the lads. Sun out, tops off.
No.
You say no now, you'll come round to my way of thinking.
I see a point. I get it. I agree with you. If I were to make money, I need to make this topless.
Annoyingly, Dave, I only put clothes on before I called Tim. I've mostly been sitting here in my boxers all day. Because it's been almost 18 degrees here at some point.
Boiling hot.
Oh, ridiculous weather. Fucking ridiculous. I've had a fan going up my junk all day, every day.
Well,
Anyhow.
Me and Jerry getting in one tub could be a bit of a problem.
Depends where you put your eggs.
Unless global warming gets that bad that everything is underwater, then technically we will all be in the same hot tub.
Oh, I'm with you, Pete. 18 degrees is fucking appalling. It's an outrage. It's an outrage. But I quite like the big guys that Martin's done. I really like. I put it to you, right? I put it to you that the sculpts for Moonstone are so nice. It's practically impossible to do a bad job.
Yeah, you really had to push. I think you need to use undiluted enamel paints to make these worse.
It's one of those ones. There are some flat areas of flesh and like for some of the bigger models, but it doesn't matter whether you use traditional painting techniques or speed paints or contrasts or whatever. The details are that crisp, and the sculpts have got very defined lines. Like Fritz is particularly good with all his slashed silks, that you can just do a fucking gorgeous job on them. And Dim and Dimmer's particularly cool. I like him.
And there's so much detail in these that's just amazing.
Hola, Crispin. Bird you, Nick. Big man. What's shaking? Not much.
Crispin.
Should stick the foot down. Come up this Saturday, Nick. We're going to be doing some RPG stuff for RPG Day, and then playing Hogs of War after.
Crispin has finally revealed some photos of the castle.
He's been revealing them to House of Water #BestHouse for some time. We all know what's coming. He's just finally going to let you,
the plebs, oiks, take a look. Yes, the PS2 Hogs of War. They even did because Rick Mail obviously passed away, and I can't remember when, because the Kickstarter was delayed by like a year because fucking COVID happened, and it's really fucked the guys over. But they did a flash heart and a speckled Jim pigeon as part of the Kickstarter for little exclusives. I think those were only for the first 24 hours or something.
Yeah, people whined like bitches, because people always whine like bitches, going, why should people who knew what was going on and followed you get exclusives in the first 24 hours for putting their money where their mouth is? We deserve them as well, so they made them available for people to buy after 24 hours. They should have just went, fuck it.
Yeah, those things are called incentives to buy for a reason.
Yep. I don't know why they don't. But anyway, yeah, so I've got Hogs of War, and I've got the Team Lard expansion, which adds a 5th team. So you can play up to 5 players, and Team Lard also has a solo mode built in. So over the next couple of days, in the evening at some point, I will sit down and play a solo mode of Hogs of War to work out how the fuck to play the game.
How do the rules work?
Pretty much. I'll let you say, well, we'll take pictures. I'll put them up in the House of Water. Best house.
So what's next on the docket then?
Stepping away from Moonstone for a little while. And take a look at some Moonstone.
From Bex. And I specifically picked this one for one very specific reason.
Is it the tree frog airship?
Yes, the camel pattern is just...
You say camel pattern. I mean, tree frog.
Yeah, but he's up in the sky, so he's a cloudy guy.
Sure, could be. Could be that.
Just look at him. How happy he is.
I'm sure I'd be happier if his backside wasn't stitched shut.
And I'm sure Lloyd is happy because of the humongous pictures.
Lloyd's never happy, but, you know, not beyond the realms of possibility.
Sadly, this is a very short project, but it's a recent project, so possibly Bex is going to do some more?
Yeah. It must have been a Hobby Hangout, because where else would I talk to people about this? I found Bex's other half in the project system as well, who's also doing Moonstone. So that's
terrain, if I remember correctly.
No, the terrain was in Bex's side of things. They were painting the Commonwealth humans from the starter set. So that's 2 of them, and terrain. That's battle report written all over it. Just saying.
If we can...
keep an eye out for the video, Nick, because I'm curious. Because if they work as well as a decent wash type of coverage with that sort of contrast, they are fucking dirt cheap in comparison to other stuff. They are stupid cheap. It's like the price of a Citadel contrast paint, but a bottle that size.
Only thing to see is if they actually work like advertised.
Yeah, well, I imagine they will. There's not much in it once they've worked out what they're up to. But yeah, I quite like the little start that they've put together.
Yes, more please, Bex. Perhaps a battle report of sorts?
Battle reports. That's all we need, just battle report. It's not too much to ask. I mean, is it? I wouldn't have thought so.
No, I don't think so. I think battle reports are right up there in the realms of possibility.
Yeah, I have to get a second one of those airships.
And then make an armada?
No, my one I've got at the moment is all decked out in the Christmas special
Oh,
for Grimble's Knack. So
shall we move on?
yeah,
Merge into the next project.
like a frog full of air with tape up its bum.
More Moonstone by Irish Steve, because we can.
Speak of the devil.
Yeah, and this is now something which I thought looks just amazeballs, the object source lighting has done on these.
Fire spitter. It's a touch of filth right there. Touch of filth.
But it looks gorgeous.
Oh yeah, it looks great. I question the sanity of strapping a massive barrel filled with highly flammable propellant to your back and then putting a bunch of candles on your hat. I just saying.
Well,
Let's hope it doesn't go off like brandy. Boil
high
it away.
risk reward.
Quite like it. It's not bad from young Steve. He's got a bit of talent. He should consider doing this.
As a profession?
Yeah, as a profession.
I think this whatever liquid he's using in his flamethrower seems to have some nauseating fumes. If I look at this little fella's slightly deranged grin.
Yeah, well, maybe it's Tamiya extra thin cement because it's very flammable and also smells amazing, or at least it did smell amazing before my sense of smell went.
Don't do this at home, kids.
Oh no, definitely do that. This is how I've been testing whether or not my sense of smell is coming back. Because for a couple of days there was fucking nothing off this. Now there's like a little hint of that sort of fruity chemically smell. But not as much as you would normally get when you take the lid off and go, frisky. Like most things, you should definitely leave all the lids off and let them evaporate.
That could also be very
There's Vespa.
hazardous if you don't smell when there's a gas leak in your house.
That's true.
Who is this health and safety, Gary?
It's health and safety gone mad, isn't it? Isn't it? I like the paint job. It's not often I can criticise some of Steve's work, but I will today. Fuck him.
Oh.
I like the paint job on Vespa, on all the resiny bits. But I'm not sure I'm a fan of the wings. And I think he's gone ahead and he's bought the transparent wings. And then they've just kind of ended up going brown. And it's kind of a waste of the transparent wings. Hi, Dave. What do you think? Do you think he's fucked up those wings?
I think they're a bit odd.
Not odd. Call a spade a spade. Has he fucked up those wings?
No, I don't think so.
You lying shit. I'm going to send Steve a message telling him he's fucked up those wings. I've got a little box full of fucking pricks somewhere. It's around here somewhere because I was looking at it the other day. All see-through. Whenever I did the unboxing, I actually I sprayed colour flip paint onto transparent resin models to see which ones I could use for those wings to get that sort of sheen, the translucent multicolored sheen that you would get on like a blue bottle or what have you. And they all look great. That looks like he's just thrown brown ink over the top.
The funny thing is, I remember I had asked him how to paint wings when I got the weird mega mosquito from Heresy Andy.
Did he go just fuck brown ink over them?
No,
Job
actually,
done.
He didn't.
No.
He went on a very elaborate how to do explanation, which I totally forgot, and then I just winged it, literally.
Aha! Winged it! Fucking good.
Pun not intended, but very welcome.
If you say so. I can't be the only one. People in the comments, you feckless fucks, you're all very quiet. What do you think of the wings on that? Ignore the rest of the model. Ignore the basing. That's all fantastic.
Both the wings.
But do you think the wings just look a little meh? Like an app, like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. I want to finish the model. Fuck it. I've got sepia. I've got sepia ink and I'm not afraid to fuck it all over it.
Isn't that even sepia and not...
I have no idea. I genuinely have no clue what has gone on over those wings. I'm baffled. Baffled by his choice. Because normally he's spot on with colour. If you don't look at that picture, there's a side-on picture where the wing is about half of the model. She's flying right to left. And you can really see, yeah, that one there, that looks like it. There you go. And you should be able to embiggen that. I just think the rest of the model just looks spot on. And then the inks on the wings just kind of go,
Maybe he intended for something different, and because it's clear he couldn't remove the paints.
Oh, that's interesting, because the resin does have noticeable striations from our friend the 3D print. You can see them there quite noticeably.
Yeah.
Wonder if he's gone with like an oil wash and they just wouldn't clean up enough. Oh, I'd be fucking fuming. Oh, I'd have broke those right off. Anyway, if you're watching this, Steve, we love you. Wings are shit though, mate. Shit wings. Shit in colour. Shit in finish. Shit wings.
Yeah, I think there's something for your theory on removing a oil wash, because the center of the wing looks hauntingly clear.
Yeah, because they are the clear resin wings, but they just look so weird with that brown on them. They might not be finished. He may come back and do other stuff. I would be very surprised if that's an iridescent brown.
If we only had a way of communicating with him.
Sometimes he wanders in here. I was hoping he'd wander in while I was giving him dog's abuse, but you know, kind of everything.
Well, I think...
Actually, to be fair, he's probably in the hospital right now because he couldn't come down to play with us this week because his wife's expecting a kid. Presumably his.
Yeah, the only one who can be sure is his wife. Most of the time.
But yeah, no. Where the fuck is that little box of bastards? Is it you? Jesus, that's a lot of resin. Sound like you. Oh, it is you. Yeah. Well done, me. I've got a whole box full of these little translucent fuckers. And static image-wise, they're not great. It's very difficult to see the colour flip appearing on them. Although in some cases you can. I mean, that one goes from pink to purple, which is quite nice. But some of them, which I thought would be great, were just too heavily coloured. This is what I did to test mine. Not that it matters, I'm never actually going to paint mine. Let's face it, it's going to stay in a fucking thing. That's a really nice colour. What are you? M gold. The fuck is M gold? Nope. Well, it's set 2. Oh, Mystic Gold. Okay. Mystic Gold's a good colour from Green Stuff World if you're planning on doing that yourself. It's quite cool. But it's definitely not an iridescent. It does look like it's possibly an oil wash. It just hasn't cleaned up massively because you can see the blue through it.
You look like Hydra Jesus with a...
It's good, isn't it? Very good.
I'm a little bit worried we might get caught on in the YouTube algorithm at some point.
Really?
No, not really.
I mean, it's very unlikely that we're going to get caught in the YouTube algorithm unless somebody starts saying Hitler, Hitler, Hitler.
Oh, that would be
And I
a
think
terrible shame.
the algorithm generally spends the first 30 seconds listening to you and then gets bored and fucks off to another video because there's too many being uploaded for it to spend any time. Anyway, so yeah, Steve stuff, very nice.
Shall we move on to the next project then?
That's good. I'm going to leave that project open so I can go back and abuse him. The next project. It's one of my favourite lines from Sean Locke. Don't mention the war. I'll mention the war if I want. Hitler, Hitler, Hitler.
So Dan Lee is moving stuff.
Yes.
And I think this is one of the odd project systems, to say the least. Because nobody wants to move their hobby stuff now, do they?
Presumably not, but I mean, if he's moving house, then I imagine the incentive to move it to bring it with you is probably high.
That's fair enough.
Unless you just want to abandon it in a house. Like a lot of my stuff in Belfast. There's some interesting shit in there.
Lost Patrol, a random Space Hulk, Mythic Battle Pantheon, a fuckton?
Pretty sure that's Kingdom Death, and that looks like a Moomin at the back. It's all very, very confusing.
Conan? Grail? Never heard of them.
Oh, you're on a completely different page from me. But yeah, sure, that too. He has a Croissant fleet, which would be perfect for Billion Suns. Well, it would.
Also, it's the right scale. Wow.
I will cut you.
I think last week we had the discussion at some point because of Billion Suns, and I could, for the life of me, think of the name Billion Suns.
Right.
It was a very missed opportunity on a very bad pun, but that's life.
Just can't get the staff these days. Can't get the staff. Did you back that Kickstarter, Crispin, or were you like a manly man at the height of his manliness who managed to resist?
10 years of hobby stuff. So I'm really interested in how this will develop on how many fatalities there will be in the moving part. I'm guessing these glass cabinets will be highly fragile.
Weirdly, they break down very easily because we have quite a few of them in the studio, and then loads of them were stored like in a back cupboard under the stairs for fucking ages until Warren got his massive basement, at which point he moved them with him. So it's just lots of sheets of glass. So it's relatively simple to move those. They all sort of disassemble, Stephanie. Back to Cowboy one. Oh, I was thinking about the Bastion and Wall one, so you could stick like massive Imperial things all over your ships. But I like his grubby boxes.
Nick, why aren't your dioramas easily moved? Are they just too big, or have you cemented them to the wall?
Elaborate shapes, some of them.
I can still move them.
Oh, well, yeah, you can move them. No. Think about how bad it is to transport most GW models these days, and then put loads of those together in various ways on a base. There's no chance that they're going in a box. There's just none. You're shatter luck.
Yeah, I see
Let's
your
go
point.
everywhere. Things are pointing in every direction. It's a work gone mad.
Well, it would be a very slow process then to carry each one of them individually from one place to the other.
That is the good thing about Ireland, though. You could do that. You just make a trip with each diorama with a significant other or child holding a diorama on their lap in the car. The fact that you've got to do like multiple shuttle runs is neither here nor there.
Yeah, well, let's see how Danley will end up setting up his new hobby space. And in the meantime, we shall venture forth. Oh, you're ahead of me.
I'm a fucking ninja.
Oh, you bastard.
Coming at you like Cleopatra.
Hutch! This is simply because there's games in I've never heard about.
Right.
Maximilian 1934, for
Good
example.
old
And I love the miniatures.
Yeah.
Just look at it.
These were doing the rounds a while ago, and then when Volsung got a bit of a sort of an uptick, like 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah, probably would be 5 or 6 years ago. People started going back to look at these because they work well for a steampunk sort of thing to have on the streets. People should always be keeping an eye on Eureka Miniatures anyway, just to see what random shit they've got going on. They've got bikes that you can turn the wheels on theoretically, which is great. Unlike, have you seen the new GW fucking Necrofunda one? Oh Christ! Oh sweet zombie Jesus, what's going on that? They're very good in a very straight line, and when they reach the end of the straight line, somebody has to pick them up on a crane and turn them around, send them back again.
I love these vehicle models. They just look so wacky, like the 60s Disney movies.
They're very wacky races. You could see Dastardly and Muttley hanging out of them. And yeah, Pete, you're right. The very British Civil War, they'd be great for as well. You could just see them doing drive-bys in the street. Somebody giving the British Union of Fascists a touch of the old Daka Daka. It's just, it's interesting stuff.
And there's still so much more to come.
Oh, the hogs. Oh, he's got the hogs. There he has them. Cool. Yeah. Beautiful looking thing.
People licking jerry cans.
Eureka is an Australian company, but they do have a UK mirror site. But I've never looked to see whether or not Maximilian's available through the UK mirror. I must do that at some point.
Yeah.
Not right now because I'm very fucking lazy,
And the thing is, he's trying to give a complete list of every project he has.
There's our Steve.
Oh, is he?
Yep. Here, Steve, we were just in your project. I suggested that your wings on Vesper were shit. Other people were less keen to back me up, but I do have a question. Did you oil wash them? Because they look very brown and sort of half finished compared to the rest of the model, which looks like cracking. I'll let you finish swearing at me and then you can type an answer in. It is on the UK side. Oh, that's good. No, I'm back home in Ireland. I brought the Corona home. It's good.
Did you at least bring a variant that isn't here?
I don't know. The variant I brought was obviously very virulent to my friend and to her fiance, but not to me. It's been relatively mild in comparison for me. So maybe I did.
So this long list of projects that he has stuffed away is going to be at some point be shown in this project system. At least that's how I understand his reasoning.
Yeah, and I'm all for it. The Wild West collection from Foundry. It's one of the reasons I wanted to do Wild West years ago. Was looking at the Foundry Catalogue and seeing every miniature Foundry had for their Wild West or Old West system had a mounted and dismounted variant. I was just like, this is just fucking amazing. Everyone I want, I can also get them on horseback as well, so they can jump off horses and stuff. Now I just need somebody to make a game that will do that. So it's just great to see somebody actually painting them up. I really want them. I want them so badly. I should get some.
Speaking of catalogs, do miniature manufacturers actually still do paper catalogs?
Clear. Damn it, clear. Oh dear. Sorry, what were you saying?
I was wondering, do miniature makers still make proper paper catalogs?
No, they don't. No, I have quite a lot. I have most, if not all, of the War Games Foundry ones, because they used to cost you a couple of quid, but you would get a pack, or rather half sample pack with them, which covered the cost of the catalog. So the catalog was like $3.50, but the packs in those days were like £6, and you would get like a half pack. And you would go, I want the Napoleonic catalogue, and can you include a sample of British? They would give you some British figures. So you were essentially getting them for free. But they were great. Dead Man's Hand would be the way I'd go.
Because that might be age speaking, but I really like having a paper catalogue and just flick through the pages.
Yeah. Oh, no. You're 100%. That's not even an age thing. The Foundry catalogues are way the fuck up there. Oh, hang on. There might be one close by. No. Oh, maybe. No, hang on. That's a rule book, isn't it? No, I've put them somewhere weird. Anyway, but the Foundry catalogs contained, you would go like Old West, and it would start off with a couple of pages of what was going on, who they were. Napoleonics, you would get a potted history at the start of each section. or you would get a painting guide, or they weren't just figure after figure, although they were figure after figure, but they also contained a big chunk of resources like Zulu War or whatever it happened to be, explaining what
giving
way
you
you should be
a
painting
basic
shields,
foundation of knowledge.
Yeah. And then you could then go, well, that's quite interesting. That'll get me started, and then I'll go off and look for some Osprey books in the meantime.
Jerry is in Hydra, about as surprising as Boris' child support bill.
Boris doesn't pay child support. He doesn't even know how many children he has, for fuck's sake, Steve. Are you going to leave the wings? I'm going to go with feces smeared. Or are you going to... Because the problem with the fucking Tamiya lacquers is they're not easy to clean off. I mean, fuck. Once those bastards are dried on, I don't think anything's shifting them. You're probably stuck with those. That's a terrible shame. The rest of them all look really nice. It looks like you dipped the wings in shit, mate. I feel bad saying it. I don't feel bad. Normally I have no criticism about your stuff at all, but those wings were fucking horrendous. But everybody else is too nice to tell you.
It's good to have
It's
you
true.
back.
It fucking is true. For fuck's sake. Anyway, cunts. Yeah, so that's an interesting little project that I will definitely be following. I followed some of because Hutch has sort of appeared out of nowhere. I think this is like Hutch's third project or maybe second project. His first one we looked at when he started doing it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's exciting and new.
So speaking of exciting and new, I love how this works. Jamie Scott is doing a YouTube channel of his own. Don't you kill my Jerry on stream now here,
Jamie
Steve.
Scott was at the Joy of Six, which quite a few people were at and really enjoyed, up to and including the Americans who were over. So there you go.
Yeah, I watched that video and it was interesting because he took a bit of a different approach than usually you see with people making reports from shows. There's no talking, that's just showing. And a very soothing, relaxed music in the background.
It depends who you follow on the interwebs. There's plenty of people who do something similar.
Yeah, for me it was a very unique experience, or a very, very rare experience, should I say.
Miniature Adventures, if people aren't subscribed to him on the YouTubes, he did a nice little report, which was different because he put up sort of still images and then had a chat about what was going on at various points. His Steve, you'd like him, actually. You subscribe to Miniature Adventure, Steve? You're probably not. Do you know what YouTube is, Steve? Not you, Steve. Other Steve. Fuck, this is going to be tricky. Not Irish. Not Irish Steve. Northern Irish Steve.
Yeah, this is like almost a Australian version of what's it called again? Bruce?
Bruce. What's your name? Martin. That's going to be a bit of a issue. Mind if we call you
we're
Bruce?
going to call you Bruce. Do you have any cheese?
Did you ever hear the genesis of the cheese shop?
No.
They were filming somewhere and they were really hungry and they were coming back and Cleese was talking to Chapman, and Chapman said, "Oh, we should go and get something to eat." And I went, "Where?" And he pointed to a pharmacy. I was going in there, going, "Why the fuck would the pharmacist have anything to eat?" So, well, maybe the cheese shop had ran out of cheese. So they started spitballing this whole idea of somebody going into a pharmacy looking for food and then worked their way back to a cheese shop running out of cheese. And that was the cheese shop sketch.
Which has the most irritating ending ever.
Oh,
Do you want to come to my place? Oh, I thought you never asked.
Oh, hope the balalaika player isn't going to put you off. Oh, no, I like that. Anyway, fucking majors. I don't think they do still make them. There may still be people selling the majors, but I don't think anybody still makes them. Oh, really want a cigarette now. Anyway, Yeah, The Joy of Six from Jamascat. It's quite nice. It gives a good overview of what was going on the day, which was a lot of people playing a lot of 6mm games.
Very, very many small games.
Yeah. As somebody once said, if you want to go big, go small. I've told countless girlfriends that in the past, but they haven't believed me. They don't understand. It's not a small cock. It's a more strategic overview.
It's concentrated.
Carol's used to be in Ballymena. Used to be so many. So many people with like cheap cigarettes in Ballymena. Fucking great.
At this point, I'm very thankful that I never took up on the habit
Right.
of smoking. Habit.
Oh, smoking's great. You know, it makes you look 10 to 15% cooler than non-smokers.
Well, at that point, I'd be freezing.
Oh, well, just saying. Anyway, shall we have a look at the next one?
Yes.
But yeah,
Quicks.
Northern Irish Steve, you should have a look at Mini Adventure. If you don't, because he's good crack.
So other than this being a
Bigly.
neck exercise from
No, if you
Granton
click
Van
on
Man,
them, they go the right way up. I don't know why it does it. It's something to do with the orientation you take the pictures in, but quite frankly, I don't listen when people start explaining the technical side to me.
yeah, what actually stood out for me on this is these are very bright poppy-colored orcs.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Almost bordering on neon.
You're a Ballymena Carol, that makes sense. I mean, if you're going to do orcs, as we learned from Robin Williams, if you're going to fight Clash, no point wearing camouflage, then I can't see you. I really like the back of his cloak. He reminds me of a New York taxi cab. He does though.
Yeah.
There you go, see?
Yeah, fair point.
Just come up to him and just go, take me
Hey,
to Central
taxi.
Station, hand him a bag of teeth.
Jump on his back and go, could you please take me to the train station? Thank you.
Mm.
Cult of Squid.
Yeah, that's an unusual set of fellas. And presumably not particularly cheap to do either, because I'm fairly certain that he's bought a set of whatever you call those squigs.
And then cut them in half.
The leapy squig things, and then stuck their heads on. Don't know how many he's cut in half. I think a lot of them come in multiple parts these days. So you glue them like arse end together and then stick it onto the front end. But
this
it's
is
very
somehow looking very disturbing.
I mean, it's definitely something I would expect to see coming screaming at me with a bunch of orcs. It will leave an impression, up to and including that guy with his little pink horn.
I imagine these not running towards you, but jumping like kangaroos.
Oh, even better. Oh, really? Sweet. I mean, you've got to give it up to Ulster Bus.
A bus inspector selling cigarettes?
You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. I don't need to keep the Moonstone thing open anymore, Steve, that you're here now, so I don't have to ask that question, which I was going to type in after we finished.
Oh, Steve, I think you're 50% right. But only 50.
The original metal squigs from 4. I've got a chunk of those still. Local shop in Antrim used to sell Regal king-size singles for 5p. What was that? It wasn't Burns's down the main street, was it? Because that sounds exactly like the sort of shit Burns's used to do. The Caravan up the back of the fucking steeple in Park Hall used to sell singles as well. Are they Quark tribute band?
Is this a kit he bought somewhere?
Let me just scroll down and have a look.
Ashall, Fordwood, Karen.
It looks like a toy that's been heavily converted. Because if you look at the suspension and turning system on the wheels, that's too much effort for GW to put in. But other bits of it are definitely orky. But that back canopy that's been sort of stitched on, again, looks manufactured, but not a GW piece. So I think it's a kit bash. Or maybe it is just a whole fucking Forge World thing, but I'd be very surprised. They can't be arsed, let's face
He
it.
takes Ash Hauler, Forge World Cannon, stuff.
Reggie's Lifestyle up the Dublin Road. Oh, that makes sense.
Seems like it's all Games Workshop pieces for some odd reason.
Forge World Cannon, Ash Hauler. Wow. Definitely not the least expensive conversion I've ever done. Oh, fair enough.
No, not the moment you take Forge World pieces into the equation.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, have you seen that the build videos that Midwinter Mini does on his Titan?
I'll stop you there. No, I haven't.
Okay. Today somewhere on the YouTubes he asked the question, why are you watching the video series? And I couldn't help myself but making the comment, watch that thing crash and burn. To collapse in on itself under its own weight.
If it hadn't been for the fact that he was wandering around UK Expo, I wouldn't have been able to tell you who the fuck Midwinter Minis was. Or even that he existed.
Well, he's another dude on YouTube.
Not some dude, though. Just
Nope.
another dude.
There's only one some dude. Well, technically I'm lying. There's another one with a similar sounding channel name. Still need to get his channel off the ether.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but the track conversion really does look nice. Jeebus.
Yes.
Let's see, where's the follow button? There it is. Follow this one.
Reminds me of, I don't know who did it, but they bought a orc army off somebody. It's in the studio and it's all Tyrannid pieces. So the dreadnoughts and stompers, fucking warwalkers, whatever the fuck they're called these days. Uruk, blah 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 blahs.
Killer cans.
We're made out of bits of Nid creatures like Carnifexes, and the boys all had armor that was like Hormigant and Tyrannid plates, up to and including weapons. They were sort of all kit bashed on, so the entire force had a very Nid theme, as if the orcs had ruffle stomped the Nid army and just fucking made their stuff out of it.
What? You come here to consume us?
That type of thing.
Let me show you how it's done.
It's a dog-eat-dog world. And this has a similar feel where they've gone with this distinctive theme throughout. The sort of the feral idea of squiglets everywhere, up to and including all over their tin cans.
No, I just love myself some orcs.
You have a 3D printer thing, Nick. 3D printer, I think they're called.
We Titans from Adeptus Titanicus. Titans. He does not.
No. Just
Good
check.
man.
Somebody sent me a link to a Kickstarter they're running for Epic 40k / Titanicus with a load of buildings and basing and shit. So I threw a news article out there about it this afternoon. Very nice stuff, but if you don't have a 3D printer, I wouldn't worry. Presumably they'll make the stuff later on, or there's at least one guy's backed at a merchant level, so they'll be selling it. It's very cute. Anyway, I digress.
Yes, we didn't have enough digression today. So next will be what? Where? What?
Bum, 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 bum. Boop. He said when he's finished the campaign. Shut up. When he's finished the campaign, anybody who's backed at a merchant level, he'll post a link to their stores on his website. So I don't know if he's going to be producing them himself or just letting the people who backed at a merchant level produce. But you'll be able to see it. It's Dark Art Miniatures on the OTT site.
Dark Art Miniatures venture into 3D printing with Epic Heresy.
Epic Heresy, that's the one. That's its name. The stuff is there's some terrain. There's quite a lot of fucking massive epic walls, like the
Gothic
Siege.
rune sets.
Well, it's like Siege of the Emperor's Palace for the Horus Heresy. It's fucking enormous walls, which look great. But there's also a whole slew of basing for Epic and Titanicus, up to and including display plinths, where the base insets into these big massive plinths with like what you call them at the front, like plaques at the front, so you can have your mech or Titan set on to display on a shelf and then lift it off to actually do gameplay with. Anyway, I digress.
So
Where are we?
Doug.
Doug, you sure? What am I clicked on?
Did you?
No,
all right.
no, that's right. Yeah, that's
that's
right.
Doug
Yeah,
the
that's right. Yeah. Well done, me. Well done, me.
Doing Blackstone Fortress E stuff.
Yeah, look, it all fits in a little case, like a bait box for bait boxings. The expansions aren't on sale anymore from Games Workshop. Really? You surprised me, Games Workshop. The fact that
Games
you've...
Workshop discontinuing something. Well, that's never been heard of, has it?
It's an interesting little start. I quite like the...
I got all sensible for a change. It's considered storage before I dived into painting. Well...
I mean, it doesn't... Are you... What? Don't think
Where's
you're
the
allowed
fun
to.
in that?
But, you know, you do you. Sonny Jimbo, you do you. I like the fella, he's got a big spiky helmet so he can headbutt people and fuck them up.
They are reboxing them for 40k chaos. Well,
You know, kind of everything. You use it for, you know, better games. I'm interested to see. I've got the Army Painter skin paint set winging its way to me. Just while I see the lot of flesh on display there from Doug. Still trying to find 2 of the Blackstone expansions. Oh, terrible shame.
well, you might want to look at eBay.
Why not just call him a cunt? Why not just tell him his wings look shit on Vespa?
Well, you already did that, so there's no point of repeating that, is it? Speaking of Army Painter, though, shout out to them for actually having a real cool content creator support.
Right?
They showed off the teaser trailer for their new spray cans.
Yes.
And I jokingly said, well, if you have anything new to the market, just send it my way and I'll make a review of it. And they got back to me and saying, yeah, you can just enter your info at this form and we'll get back to you. And they actually did.
300? That's fucking harsh.
They politely declined as, well, they can't send free stuff to anybody doing videos, which is fair enough. But I was rather... found it quite pleasing that they actually took the time to review all the stuff I sent them. So
I imagine that they looked at what you sent them and they just went, we cannot be associated with this neo-Nazi and his filthy Fanta Coke mix. That's probably what set you on a rum one, to be brutally honest. That and your love of Hitler. Hitler. Anyway, I'm looking forward to the
weird flies in my room here.
Oh yeah. Anything so you don't have to look at the screen. But yeah, the apparently the Army Painter flesh tone paint set is fairly fucking magical. So I'm looking forward to actually playing with it and seeing what it's like. Because there's like a base color, a pearlescent highlight, and a wash. to allow you to make everything from Caucasian through to, African skin tones. So curious as to how they go. But just while I see the big burly man there with his pinkish flesh.
You could do a jerry can, could you?
I could. I won't.
Oh.
I leave any painting things to John, who does the painting tutorials. This is how it goes.
Oh, fair enough.
They sent him the painting set fucking forever ago. He paints painting flesh, and I went, you should take that home and do something with it.
Well, Nick,
And then I was looking for painting some Natal native horse recently, and it was like, I can't be arsed doing my usual African skin tone because it requires quite a lot of mixing and lots of different colours, and I'm very lazy. So I'm just going to look for an easier way. And then the Army Painter paint set sprung up as being a good one to go for, and I went, fuck it, I'll order that.
Well, Nick, I didn't sign the form with Hail Hydra Jesus. I just said I can't be arsed.
He says that.
But you can't prove me otherwise?
The Danes know.
Well,
They
but
know.
You don't.
They do.
So what's the last
Practically
project for
Nazis
tonight,
themselves
then?
anyway, the Danes. Space Marines!
What? Now, Ralph is
No.
doing a 501st Battle Force inspired by the Battle Force box that Atomic Mass Games is shelling out. And as with his other project, he's going very into detail again.
Oh, yeah. I imagine every single individual clone trooper will be named.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That's the best way. 001, 002.
Well, that would actually make for a fun project to have actually your miniatures with little name tags on the front.
Uh-oh, one. That sucks. Interesting thing for me will be when he tries to justify the fact that the 501st weren't bad people, but they had a chip in their head, whereas we all know that's not true. That's bullshit.
No?
Bullshit.
You sure?
Fairly certain. Because the Emperor didn't push a button and watch all the clones immediately start executing everybody around them. They contacted the commanding officer and went, execute Order 66. And then he would have told his troopers to execute Order 66, which means that was just a normal order passed on through the chain of command. And the chain of command at some point had went, if we ever give you this order, shoot the Jedi in the back of the head. None of this. Some of them were good guys who cut the chip out of their head. That's bullshit.
Oh, it's a voice-activated thingamajig
Balls.
implanted in their brains.
Massive balls.
And most important of all, it's a children's television series.
Super balls.
Oh
You
god,
can
I'm
add in everything you want.
sweating.
They were told to execute their commanding officer. And when that order came through, they obeyed. Like these guys. Fucking heroes. 501st.
Did the 501st, did Hydra also kill their superiors?
They killed other high-ranking members of the Nazi party, yeah. I think you just have to ignore what Atomic Mass Games are doing, to be brutally honest. I have a mixture of Mandalorians from the clan boxes, and then I've also got some Mandos that Warren 3D printed a load of Mandalorians for no fucking reason and just handed me like 30 of them. And I think you just go, you know what, I'm just going to run my own little Mandalorian force to amuse myself.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of homebrew units you can use. And if you have a balanced list, I think nobody would challenge you on playing your own made-up list.
Don't even care if it's a balanced list. I have a load of Mandalorians jumping around the place on jetpacks. Eee! The fact you don't have vehicles, tanks, or anything else, that kind of makes up for it. The fact that you're only rocket pantsing your way around the place, that's just great.
You don't get any heavy support or shooty bang bang.
No. Yeah, the expanded universe That's the way to go. They were told, shoot these people in the back of the head, and they did it because they were only following orders. And some of them may have gone, you know what? No, we're gonna say no.
For some odd reason, I think I've heard this. We were only following orders before somewhere.
I
Someplace.
can't imagine where it would have been.
Beats me.
Probably Star Trek. I seem to remember Captain Kirk being involved, which is a fucking deep cut if anybody can remember that film.
Oh god.
Babylon 5. Bum bum bam bum bum bam bam.
Well, this concludes then now the scripted 30 minutes. Also, I'm getting very thirsty because for the last 20 minutes, I'm out of booze.
Right, that seems like a terrible.
It's horrible.
It's badly planned by you. It's not like anybody else came up with this time. You knew the time we were doing this at.
Yes, you're totally correct on that. But to be fair, that's a half a liter. Normally, I don't drink as much on stream because I need to go on the toilet and wee like a horse.
Oh,
but
you should just
today everything just evaporates through the pores.
That's why I should always keep a 2-liter milk carton nearby. If at any point it looks like I'm not coughing, but my microphone's muted, that's because I'm filling one of these up below the camera. That's how that goes. The important thing is a wide neck. Just saying. You don't want to be attempting to play target practice with a very small neck bottle.
No, you don't.
It's a waste of time. That's why the Pepsi Slam was such an innovation for 500ml bottles. Pepsi Slam. B5 reboot. You know,
maybe not.
The fact that Straczynski is on board and in charge gives me some hope, but I can't help but feel like they were going to fuck it so badly. The only good thing is I have up there all of it.
Which we
all
can't
the
see
films.
because it's behind the flag.
No. Oh, it's not even behind the flag. It's out of camera shot, even if the flag wasn't there.
Well, it's the artificial flag.
I've got it all on DVD, and in the roof loft I have it all on video as well, in a much bigger collection. It takes up a lot more space. I don't really know why I do that. I should probably get rid of those. I'm not going to. Fuck yous. But yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter who they get to replace
the actors.
Andreas Kasoulas. He's not going to be Jakar. It just may as well not bother with Jakar. Have somebody else. Have a different Narn. Have a female Narn. Do something. So at no point will I go, he's no Andreas Kasoulas. Because I'll be so annoyed. And then I'll have to send him a bomb. Yeah. Send him a bomb and a parcel. Firefly reboot worries me. Oh, right.
See, that's the point. They start making everything family friendly. Just let there be some entertainment be for adults. Please.
I mean, you know, Firefly will automatically be family friendly simply because they're not allowed Josh Whedon anywhere near the set in case he touches anybody inappropriately. Oh, classic. Oh my god.
Yes. I'd say we leave it at this because in chat there's going on a discussion we won't get on about.
Reavers are very family friendly.
Brains.
Has anybody seen, before we go, shut up, Tim. Has anybody seen Dollhouse by Josh Whedon?
No, I didn't.
It only got one season as well before being cancelled. And it's a very interesting premise and worth watching. It's a good show. It had Faith, who had a very foreign Russian name, like most of the people did. Can't remember who Faith's real name is. Anyway, watch Dollhouse. The Dollhouse was fucking great.
That's your homework for next week?
It was like Joe 90. And if you haven't watched Joe 90, go and watch Joe 90 and then watch the Dollhouse.
Yes, Dutch Cyberpunk 2077 has dolls too. We don't go into that now. And before this explodes into porn recommendation in the chat, Oh, Dr. Faust, welcome to the end of the show.
Different dollhouse. Although, I'm with you on that one.
I will see you lot.
Slightly less rapey than Josh Whedon still.
Well,
it is, though.
I need to get myself a drink and then start
Yeah.
uploading stuff and watching movies, I think. Because, if in case I didn't mention, I'm off. I don't need to work tomorrow. I can sleep in. Have fun night.
I thought you always smelt that way.
What?
What?
Bye.